Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Nonstop Talking with your girl here, Vivian Liu. Today is quite sunny and I don't know what to do about it, so you're just catching me with a bunch of rays. And it's also a new show thoughts video, the first of 2020. I believe this is number 6. And so how this happened was that at the end of 2019, I started watching everyone's favorites, worst, most disappointing, most surprising, you know, those kind of videos. And a channel that I really like is 话很多小姐姐们, and they posted their, I guess, 2019 best dramas list video, and on that list was the Untamed. I just remember thinking wow, there is a BL Chinese drama out there that is in the 仙侠genre. I actually really like 仙侠 shows, so I was super intrigued, and then I googled it and found out that it's conveniently on Netflix, and I was like, perfect timing, I'm off for a few days for the new year, and so I have time to watch this. And that is how I got suckered into this 50 episode Chinese drama. I don't understand why China has to make such long drama. While watching the first episode, I was googling what this was about, and then I found out that it is actually based off the light novel which got turned into an anime called 魔道祖师. And this anime, my friends Peter and Ricky have been recommending to me, and I'm so sorry that once again I've watched the live action first. It happened with the King's Avatar as well. Here I am watching the live action of the first episode, and then just looking at reviews or looking at ratings, and I'm like, wow, this is really high. This is coming at me highly recommended, and then just the first episode really impressed me. I thought the world building was really good. There's a lot of there's a variety of characters, but everyone is just so distinct, and I was just like, wow, this is very interesting. I'm committing to this 50 episode drama. So before I say any more, maybe I should give a quick synopsis. It's mainly about Wu Xian. He's our main character, and something happens to him 16 years ago, and everyone thinks he's this great big baddie, and he died 16 years ago, but somehow he comes back in another person's body. And how do I properly explain this, because there's so much that happens in this. But yeah, so he comes back in another person's body. There's a mystery aspect that's happening, and he's gonna solve it with his really good friend Lan Zhan. I mean, it's set in the xianxia world, so obviously there's martial arts, sword fighting, and a lot of mythological stuff, and powers, and spirits and ghosts. And yeah, I don't know how to give a synopsis for this. Never mind. We're just going to talk about this drama together. There will be spoilers because I'm going to be talking about everything. There's your warning. I have no idea how I'm going to do this, because I know for previous, I looked at the character list and kind of talked about the characters and my thoughts, and I had a written review to go off on. But this is a 50 episode drama, and I took so many notes per episode, and I did write a written review for my blog, but it's super long, and I tried my best to condense it, but it just couldn't happen. And so I'm looking at the character list, looking at my written review, looking at my notes, and I don't know where to start. Let's start with my overall thoughts and then go from there. So firstly, this drama had massive hype, massive hype, and I think it did live up to its hype. I thought the drama was excellent. It was very good storytelling, very good characterization, very good slow burn romance. So slow burn. And the one thing I really like about the xianxia genre is the fact that it can elicit such a fierce emotional like response, like just the things that happen are just so hard-hitting. This drama delivered on that aspect. Plus our main character Wu Xian, he is such a great flawed character. Like yes, he's righteous, yes, he like is loving and protective and all of that stuff, but at the same time he's super impulsive, super reckless, always jumping to violence as like his first method of solution. And so there's like this times when I'm just like, oh, I want, because he's just so precious and I want the absolute best for him, but at the same time I'm just like, stop it, stop getting into fights, just tell the truth, stop like bearing all your emotions inside, like but yeah, love him. Like I said, I think it lived up to its hype. I think it's an excellent drama, but at the same time there were a few things I found like lacking about it, and I'll get into that later. With that said, I guess because I've already talked about how much I like Wei Wuxian, let's talk about my actual favorite character, and that is Lan Zhan. Lan Zhan, like, so my favorite characters in anime has always been the guy with the glasses, because the guy with the glasses is always like the quiet, smart, and like keeps himself kind of like cold and cool. And I think Lan Zhan plays the guy with glasses in the anime very well, and he takes it to like a whole new level. And that's why when like he says like the sweet things about Wei Wuxian, like, oh my god, my heart just like I just can't handle. And I wrote down like few specific moments where I'm just like, oh Lan Zhan, I love you so much. So one of the first moments was obviously when Lan Zhan was telling his older brother like, oh, I want to take Wei Wuxian home and like hide him and protect him from the rest of the world. And I was just like, oh. Another moment which I thought was very precious was when Wei Wuxian was unconscious and like in his arm, and Wen Ning was talking about like how he lost his core, and just the look in Lan Zhan's eyes, like you could just see he's like, oh, I didn't love the wrong man. Like that was the type of look he was giving, and oh, my heart just wanted to burst. That's why like even though this is, how I would say, like this isn't even like shonen eye level, I would say, but there's just so many like things in the dialogues and in the looks that I think was done very well to give like viewers that, especially people who like love the book and who like love the anime, because I heard, because I haven't seen, that there is more like skinship and like more like adult content there, but obviously like with it being like on TV there's more like censorship laws, I suppose, but I think even like going around that and how they made the relationship turn out was very well done. There's so many other like just very precious moments between like our main pair. That like kind of cutish moment where they are both like parents to Ayuan, and there's that moment, where like Wei Wuxian's like, oh, he's not on like my side trying to protect Lan Zhan, and Lan Zhan was like, you know how I said I had regrets? Well, I had regrets because I was never standing up for the side that I believed in, and obviously the side that he believes in is Wei Wuxian, and he's standing by his side no matter what from now on because of regrets. And it's just so sweet, so precious. And I think like they casted these two very, very, very well. I think they have very like solid chemistry. They bounced off each other really well, and just like the looks that they're able to give to each other, you're just like, oh, it just melts your heart. And talking about casting, I think overall like the cast was like very well casted. I don't typically watch a lot of Chinese dramas, and so to me a lot of these, like especially the 90s and OO babies. I don't really know them, and it's nice to watch this drama and be introduced to so many, for me, fresh faces, and seeing like, wow, there's just this slew of new talent, which is just absolutely amazing. So there is eye candy in this as well. But real quick, I was talking about casting. Two other people I thought was extremely well casted was Meng Yao. He has such a youthful face and then those dimples, and he's casted to play this like wicked two-faced like villain, and there's just so much conflicting feelings because just the way he looks, you're just like, oh, he's so adorable, he's so, and then when he does things and then he smiles at those dimples, you're like, oh, you're so two-faced and so like fit to play this role. I really liked him and his motives. I think his motives are really strong, and I think when a villain has strong motives, it's obviously like makes for a solid drama. And I love that, like, with everything he just has an excuse, like he has a reason why he had to take the bad path. And another person I thought was very well cast was Xue Fang. Is that his name? I think so. And he's the other villain in this. He's one of two like of Meng Yao's like co-conspirators, and he has a great evil smirk, really good evil smirk. And because of that, like when he's doing his like wicked deeds, especially like in the end when he lied to, what was his name, was it Xiao Cheng, I think. Yeah, when he lied to the blind white guy, and I just was like, wow, that was like the smirk, and then the acting is just really good. He was supposed to be the playful villain, and I think he played that part really well, and he looked that part. My only thing about his character is that his like actions were just so twisted, and then in the end, like just his demise, like how all he really wanted in that youthful child heart of his was just someone to give him candy and share candy with, and he found it in the guy that he's been plotting revenge this whole entire time. And then he loses the guy, and now he's sad and he wants him back, but he doesn't understand these emotions. And I think, wow, that was just, what an arc, right? What a character arc. But my only problem was that, like, I felt like his motives were a little bit weak. So his whole thing was that when he was a kid, he was poor, and then his hand got run over by, I guess, like a rich person in a bigger clan. He like set out to like murder the entire clan and then just leave that person alive until later on, so he could suffer. And the blind white guy decides to you know, I guess exact revenge or protect the clan that he massacred. And so Xue Fang was like, oh, you're in my way, and that thus like started this years long like back and forth revenge between the two of them. And so I don't know, I just felt like motives wise maybe I didn't understand it that well, because sometimes like xianxia is a very difficult genre to understand, but I just felt like his motives were a little bit weak, but he had like a really good like fallout of the character, and I really enjoyed that. But oh, talking about like villains, I mean, he's not really a villain, but Wen Zhuliu, the core molten hand guy, he was such an interesting like bodyguard of a character, because he was so powerful, he was so strong, and then he had this like special ability. And I was just wondering the entire time, like, why is he working for the Wen clan? Because it's later on revealed that he's not even part of the Wen clan himself. That wasn't like his original surname. And so I was waiting for like his backstory, because he was just such an intriguing character, and it never came, it never happened. I mean, I guess there was just too much other stuff to talk about, which is fine, but like his death, like he deserved a way better death. Like he deserved a way, like a better way to go out, just because he was just this such a cool and like brave and loyal character. So I don't know, I just felt like his character, there should have been more. But talking about loyal, I know no one likes Wentao, the second son of the One clan. He's completely useless. He just hides behind other people's powers, like his father and the bodyguard. One like good quality is that he's actually also very loyal, or it seems that way, because he only has like one girlfriend at that time, and like he's just with that one girlfriend, and even when the one girlfriend's face like gets, you know, sliced, still like with her. So he has one good quality, even though like he's a piece of shit everything else. I keep talking about like how much I like the villains in this and then the main pair in this. So let's look at some of the side characters I really enjoyed, and one of them is their pair, Wenning and Wenqing. I really thought when Wenning came back like 16 years later that it meant Wenqing didn't die. I was sad to find out that wasn't the case. I think it would have been really nice if she could have had somewhat of a love line, Chen, but it is what it is. She's dead. But Wenning, oh my god, the long suffering is he the ghost general? Yeah, ghost general. His character was just so like touched my heart, and I wish this actor just like an amazing career, because he really blew my mind in this supporting role. So I wrote this down in my notes and I just wanted to discuss it and see if you guys agree. But I think the Jiang sister, what was her name? Yanli. Is it Yanli? Y-N-I-L-I. Doesn't she remind you of Jessica, the former member of SNSD? I don't know, there's just like some angles where I was like, oh, she really looks like Jessica. But also like about facial likeness, Mian Mian. Oh my god, she's so cute, and what a standout character. She's in this just briefly, but really like when she was on it, she really was on it. But Mian Mian, like when I first saw her, I was like, is she that like Taiwanese variety show host from Tian Cai Chong Chong Chong, what's her name? Let me check. I'll get back to you real quick. Zhang Wenqi. Yeah, so I think Mian Mian and Zhang Wenqi, like they have a very like similar like face, and so when I first saw Mian Mian, I was like, oh, is that Zhang Wenqi? It's not, but they're still both very adorable, and I think the actress for Mian Mian was really stand out. Are there any other characters I want to talk about? Oh, obviously we have to talk about the new Jiang clan leader, Chen. So things about him, I didn't really like him, and I think it's because I had so much love for Wei Wuxian. I just felt like Chen was just getting in his way, and I felt like Chen was like the born and groomed leader of the clan, and yet he like never fully was able to live up to those responsibilities. There are moments where he is amazing in his own sense, such as like he really does value the brotherhood that he shares with Wei Wuxian, and you can see it in like when he didn't have like the heart to actually like kill him, or like when he like brought his sister, or when like he let Wei Wuxian deflect from the clan. Like there's just moments where like you can actually see his heart, but he never grew on me as a supportive role. Honestly, their brotherhood was just so much trial and tribulations, and even in the end they were just like, they threw another curveball where like the only reason why Chen wasn't captured was because he was out and like trying to also protect Wei Wuxian. And at that moment I'm just like, wow, really drama, you're gonna throw another emotional curveball my way? How am I supposed to feel? I've always been very like lukewarm about him, and now I'm just like, oh my god, can these two brothers just like get along? Stop, like just like let go of the past and all the hurt. But impossible. So I never really liked Chen, even though I think he was like a good character in himself. And I never really liked the sister either. I thought the sister like served her purpose, which was that she was the typical supportive female role, and then when it was her time to die, it was her time to die. I didn't really care about her romance with Jing, I forgot his name, but yeah, with the guy that from the Jing clan. Movie romance, like done well, can be really cute, but I felt like it wasn't like it wasn't done well enough. But yeah, obviously it was very sad that they both died. I feel like I've talked about most of the characters that I want to mention without this getting like ridiculously long. So let's kind of look at the conclusion. So the conclusion, I will have to say that I did find this drama to be a little bit dialogue heavy, and because of that it was definitely more tell than show, which like made it drag at some parts. I would say like starting around like episode 30 I kind of felt a bit of a lag, so I think like it could have, the drama itself could have definitely quickened its pace and not be so dialogue heavy and be a bit more subtle, because I think some of the twists were too easy to foreshadow. But one of the things I like really did not like see until it was too late was the younger Nie clan leader, and him being the like true manipulator of the final act. Does that make sense? Yeah, I think it makes sense. But I don't know, he just came out of nowhere and was like, I need to avenge my brother, so even though I technically am this like I don't know anything guy, I also will use that to my strength of I don't know anything guy, make sure to exact my revenge without necessarily getting my hands dirty. That was actually a really big shocker. I was just like, whoa, because I saw it a little bit too. Like when I saw it, I was just like, no, you should have saw it earlier, Vivian. So I think that was done very well, and so I liked that. However, I wasn't a fan of the fact that like after going through all of that, our main characters have to separate from each other and take different paths. Like the paths that they're taking make total sense, right? So Lanjian becomes like the leader of all clans, and then like Wei Wuxian's like, I'm gonna live this nomadic life because that fits my personality, and it makes complete and utter sense. It's just that I don't want them to be apart ever again. And it's just so was it necessarily a satisfying ending? I would say that it was a good ending. It was a well-written ending, but as a viewer I felt like it was the right ending. How about that? It was the right ending. It was a good ending. Let's talk about some other stuff that I wrote in my notes. One of the things I actually really like pulled at my heartstrings was the relationship between the dead Jiang clan leader and Madame Yu, because of the fact that like literally they get into a disagreement and they argue, and he like takes this trip. When he comes back, he finds out that his like clan is getting like attacked, so he takes like technically his two children and the adopted son, and there was like, y'all need to be safe, go. And he like returns and like fights by like his wife's side, but wasn't able to do much. They like briefly look at each other and reconcile, then they just die holding each other's hands. Like that moment, like I was just like, oh my god, only in a xianxia drama could you like just elicit such emotion from me. Because this whole entire time it's talked about how like the wife loves the husband more, and the wife had more power and therefore married this husband, when the husband was actually in love with Wei Wuxian's mother, and just like all this like backstory that was like briefly gone through, but like it was like mentioned enough to really feel the connection between these characters, and just the care and respect they have for each other, and just them dying while holding hands. And oh, I can't. My only thing was that like, couldn't Madame Yu be a little bit nicer to Wei Wuxian in her last moment? Like even in her last moment she's like, this is all your fault, take care of my son. I don't know, I would have liked a nicer parting between the two of them. But I think once again like it was very well like written and very well like shown. In comparison, Lan Zhan's parents' story, I was like, I didn't really understand it. His father fell in love with his mother, and his mother didn't love him, but he kidnapped her anyways and locked her in Gusu. She's a kidnapped bride. That was what the gist I got from this. She only got to see her sons like once a month, and then she like died an early death. I don't know, was it really necessary for the plot to like suddenly drop this like unromantic plot line? But at the same time, I guess it was like character development for the two Lan clan brothers. It came out of nowhere, and I was just like, I don't really understand this. So the father actually just kidnapped the mother and pretty much raped her into having 2 children, and like kept her locked up this entire time, and then felt bad and decided to like go into lockdown himself. Like, is that what happened? Am I like understanding this correctly, or am I wrong? Hopefully I'm wrong. I feel like this drama explored some really great themes. One of them is definitely absolute power corrupts, absolutely. You see it with the one clan, and even after like the one clan gets massacred, you see it with the Jing clan taking on the power and then doing some pretty like evil stuff of their own. And something else is definitely an eye for an eye makes the world go blind, because there's so much I'm doing this for revenge, thus I must kill you. Even in that moment where Wei Wuxian was on the rooftop and the people are like, oh, you killed my so-and-so, you killed my so-and-so, and he was just like, oh, so does everyone need to come and kill me? And I was just like, oh my god, all this like, I need to avenge for this person, I need to avenge for that person, I need to avenge for this person, I need to avenge for that person. Like, it's just so much death, all for the name of revenge. And that also reminds me of like the book Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds, but that's a whole different story, I'm sorry. And on a funnier note, one of the themes that I took from this is definitely don't abuse your love child. They will come back for blood. Loved this drama. I thought it was excellent, but there were like some things I felt like could have delivered more on. Definitely I wanted more backstory to Wenju Liu, the core molten hand guy, and I definitely wanted stronger motives for Xue Yang, because I felt like he was so wicked and so twisted. And maybe you can say like that's his nature, which is perfectly fine, but I just felt like his motives were a little bit lacking. Besides that, I mentioned this previously that I did find this drama a little bit too dialogue heavy, thus it became more tell than show, and some of the twists were very easy to foreshadow, but that didn't really like ruin the overall enjoyment, even though like I did find some parts to like be a bit draggy, laggy. Something else, I kind of wished I liked more of the side characters. I felt like there were a lot of side characters I was just very lukewarm to, and it's important when you have such a big like ensemble cast drama that your side characters have their time to shine and win the affections of the viewers as well. And I just felt like a lot of the side characters I didn't really care for. I like the villains a lot, and I think that's what this drama did very well. But yeah, there are a few side characters that I wish like could have impressed me a little bit more. I don't know if this was like possible, but I think it would have been kind of nice if this drama aged the characters a bit. I know that we get a lot of time jumps, and in essence this story is first told as an extended flashback, especially in that like 16-year time jump. Like, I wish like the characters, the main characters, could have been aged a little bit, because you like see like Adrian like go from a kid to an adult, which is like, okay, that makes sense, 16 years for him, but everyone else, you're just like, they look exactly the same. I don't know, maybe this is just something that like they weren't able to do, but I think it would have helped on a display wise to like age the characters and be like, yeah, it's 16 years now. Or maybe not, I don't know, maybe I'm thinking too much. Something random I would really like to mention is that like I have that issue where like if I see a bunch of like circles or a bunch of holes together, it like gives me goosebumps. Like really, like I'm cringing already just thinking about it. But that 100 hole curse, and like, oh my god, it was just so disgusting. And like whenever like the shirts get revealed, I mean it only happens like actually just twice, but oh my god, I got such goosebumps, and I was just like, stop this, this is not a cool curse, just don't do it, okay? Overall, this has just been super duper incoherent. I've just been like going off about like just the most random things ever, and I don't even know like how I should end this or if I should even post this. But I spent so much time just sitting here talking about this drama, and I think I should. Oh, before I sound off, I do want to say that older brother Lan, oh my god, he was obviously so in love with Meng Yao. And really, if he had just taken Meng Yao under his wings and into his arms, embrace, maybe all of this wouldn't have happened. So much more I can say about this, just because like I said, I took so many notes on each episode, and just so much happens plot wise, characterization wise, like really solid characterization and character development and character art. So overall, like, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed it so much that I actually searched up the light novel, and when I have a little bit more time, I will definitely be reading that, because a lot of people online are saying that like a lot of things did get changed. So I'm excited to be reading the light novel soon. Hopefully it's even better or just as good. I think it will be, let's be real. And because of this drama, I got introduced to Xiao Zhan, who plays Wei Wuxian, and I just think he's so good looking and so talented. And now I am actually watching him on Woman the Ge, where he's like gets paired up with Na Ying, which is really cool. He's so like multi-talented and just amazing, and now like I'm like a Xiaomi Mei of his. This drama introduced me to so many, like I said, fresh faces, and I'm excited to see them all, like all their careers just take off. And there's a few that I will definitely search up and look to see what other dramas they've been in, because I just thought they would really like stand out in this. All in all, I had a great time. I started this right before 2019 ended, and I finished it right when 2020 began. I don't celebrate New Year's really, so I stayed like indoors New Year's, just like binging this on the 1st. So from like the 30th to like the 1st, I was just watching this, and it's been such a joy. It was a great way to ring in the new year. Overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this. I thought this was an excellent drama. There were a lot of things that were done very well, and I think the conclusion was well done. Don't necessarily was it truly satisfying to my heart, is a whole different story. Overall, like, great drama. Some things I think could have been tweaked out a little bit better. I think I'm gonna give this, I don't know if it's 4 level, to be honest, and I don't know, but it's really close, so maybe like a 3.8, 3.9. What can I do? Like a 3.85. This is still a very high rating in my opinion, and I can see a lot of people loving this, and I understand why a lot of people loved it. If you've already are watching this video because of the amount of spoilers, you've probably already seen it, but recommend other people to watch it. Like, it's good. And that's it. Let's just end this video right now. Like, I'm just going on like for too long. So outro time. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in my next video whenever that is. Bye. Please just ignore